I like the sound of that, and I also like the sound of the game getting underway now as we look at Dust2, Renegades versus INTZ. And we're going to kick it over to the commentators. Topical and E-mode. Take it to them, fellas.
You are aging yourself standing out of that chair going, we're getting underway. That was a very dad noise.
I'm interested to see whose bottom gets powdered.
It's going to be one way or the other. We're going to get action, and it's going to be happening right now at Long A. What's cool, though, is Cello's actually behind the car, and he is ducked down, not selling his position right now. Let's see if they overshoot him. They're looking to the cross. They haven't yet spotted him. Suppressed USP. He's ducked again. They still don't know. They went for a run boost. They still don't know. Cello has a field day out here. That's the power of suppression. Azar is last man standing, 1v3 now. As he rounds this corner, Xan gets him. Takes a bit, but yeah, I love the story of Cello just hanging out of the car. They never clear it. He gets 3 opportunities.
And the best part about it was they actually shot at the car. JKS possibly shot at the car. I forget which one, but they shot at the car. Cello peeks off of those shots. He thinks they're actually at him when they were just free-fired shots. He peeks out. The flash comes in at the same time while he's missing shots, and that ends up keeping him alive. He's able to re-peek, pick up another kill. I mean, he should have gone down much earlier there.
It's just that's the chaos of war, dude. That's what happens. So Renegades lose that round, and now they re-aggress on the buy. Got the scouts, got a lot of head armor in there as well. That's going to really nullify a lot of these SMGs that are here. Primarily, we see Horvey that's up front, MP9. He'll try and at least slow this down a bit with a smoke. And right now there's no rotations heading his direction. It's still a heavier A stack for INTZ. Closest support he has is Xan that's right there in mid with Azal just meters away.
Ooh, Horvey able to pick up 2, but B is compromised now. We will see the bomb go down for the Renegade side. Aza actually takes down Yell after a little bit of a struggle. Cello does trade it out, and we're into a 2v2 right now. Smooya with a scout, Jacob with an MP9.
Not a bad look for the Renegades. They bought up this round, they take a risk, and now they're looking for even strength, though the scout could be a bit problematic for Smooya. They're going to bang a flashbang off the wall, actually a Molotov that's going to come down. It should burn anything close. Jacobs push up and over the top. That's all he needs. He says, thank you for the MP9. I'll earn the extra cash out of this one and run for the next round. So INTZ pick up the pistol, pretty beautifully so, and then Renegades say, no, 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 no.
Yeah, that was a great Molotov into the B-bomb site to kind of make the retake happen, push the player out of the backside of sight. But Jacob says, you know what, if you're going to Molotov me, I'm going to make the play of my own. Pushes up into window, gets a great kill there. He actually could have played the bomb timer a little bit more and tucked in, but he had an advantageous position and capitalizes on that second kill. Good round out of Renegades here. Oh, we have another force buy coming right back for INTZ here. I wonder if they're going to be able to get anything done.
All right, popping off a couple shots. Still got a 5v4 situation and getting more and more desperate. INTZ are losing bodies quick. Cello has a spot, but like they were just up and down. A really difficult target acquisition right there. And you're down to 2 remaining, Xan and Yell, and they are completely separated from this. Big, great wall in front of them. Might as well be a barrier reef to cross over this one to get back into the A site. Holding the scouts, nice, and the Deagle could be nice in the next round as well. Probably that would be my welcome approach, is to just save this into the next round and have something.
Yeah, there's not really much that INTZ can even do here. I mean, the scout, the Deagle, yeah, exactly like you just said, Dallas. Let's carry it into the next round. Let's make something happen going forward. This round's already in the bag, and it's going to be going towards Renegades.
Yeah, they are not looking for any kind of retake. Flash pushes Xan off, and he does not see them cross, but he did spot one next to the car. Takes a pop shot and continues to fall back, knowing that short is a weakness to him right now. Yell's now going to crossfire for this. Misses the first couple shots, only wounding JKS, finally putting him out of his misery. And it's a 2 surviving. No further bloodshed on this round. INTZ will be carrying those 2 weapons into the next, but still the Renegades on top are just quickly deflating INTZ's momentum off that pistol round and saying, we're way better with rifles. As soon as we get the rifles first, we'll be able to keep the gas pedal pressed.
Precisely right now, and we are going to see INTZ onto a full eco. The scouts still, you know, staying in hand from the previous round, but overall right now, this should be going Renegade's way momentarily. Looks like they're going to take another fast round. Smooya getting tagged, actually, on his way down middle. Is he going to be able to frag him back. Doesn't look like it right now. Smooya playing a very aggressive game towards these double doors.
I mean, both of those scouters are. They're flirting with death, both directions.
They want it.
They pull back. Jacob is now going to peek.
Ooh.
That was based on the flashbang from Smooya. Cello comes back over Catwalk and gets the refrag. Azza goes down. 4v4. The scout is still in play. It's been recovered. Horvey will pick that one up, and he is starting to dial back in towards Smooya,
Nice.
but he's baited. Jacob comes from underneath and catches him. It's just continual pressure here through the double doors. They now know where both of the CTs are.
Is he going to
Cello's-
ace?
Is he still? Yeah, it's the opportunity.
Smooya just looking to get that wall bang off onto Cello. Cello now rotating into CT spawn, looking for anybody else he might be able to grab. I don't think it's going to come his way, and I actually think Jacob's going to get this ace. Ooh. A little bit too much damage being done to him there. I don't think he's got the opportunity anymore.
Yeah, Leas will take that last frag. 4K on the round against that buy, and the INTZ crew are sitting on enough cash to be able to buy up an op right now. Looks like a utility is going to suffer from the side of Yell. Everybody else having a little bit of cash. So the utility's there. You got rifles. You got enough to be able to do damage.
The only point I want to make for the utility that they're bringing out is they don't have a Molotov here on any of their players. So going towards long here, Renegades won't be running into a Molotov. If they chose to rush B, they wouldn't be running into a Molotov. And you know what? That's exactly what's happening here. As Jacob goes towards those long doors, he's going to get a pick onto Showtime through the smoke, and that's a great start to the round for the Renegade side.
They had the spawn for it. So they just sprint there, and you're exactly right. There's no way to slow down those aggression peaks depending on where the spawn may be. So now Renegades start to spread out a bit, seeing if they can continue to get some of those picks. Why not? You've got essentially an expendable man on the field somewhere. So they have presence in the B tunnels, they have presence short of the long doors, and they're also keeping an eye out what's going on in mid. INTZ split their forces with Zand and Horvey hanging out at the B site and the remaining two at long A.
It's
So that
not a
leaves
bad
big
idea
gap
here.
in the middle.
Yeah, it's not a bad idea here, though. INTZ playing the double up long setup. They're going to give up Catwalk. They have two people playing in B, one person spotting doors in Horvey. So if they do come out on the mid B split, Horvey's going to be able to spot that. We'll see the rotations come in. But right now, they're giving up the A site from the Catwalk. If Renegades do choose to go up here, actually now we do see Yell rotating back. And that's a little bit more of a defense onto Cat. And you know what? Smooya's out. His team is following.
I was talking about having a big gap in the middle, and that was Catwalk. Yell's here, he misses his shot. Smooya quick on the draw. Even though Yell got the first shot out, it was fractions of a second in between. Smooya just had the better accuracy. So INTZ are already positioning, posturing for a save, even though Cello is still at long A. The B team's coming back through the tunnels, evacuating that site, while JKS is going to be on the receiving end of that. Or is he the dealer? One way and the other. So any damage that Renegades can do right now is going to be doubly effective, but right now they're bleeding a couple bodies. Still worth it, I think, to take these rifles out of play for INTZ, considering they bottomed their bank account just to buy this.
Cello thinks he's going to be having to defend his back, but his teammate in Horvey actually showed up, and he's going to keep him alive for that much longer. As of now, outside those long doors, looking for any CTs trying to push out. Jacob's going to go in towards Cello and actually find the frag there, Dallas. So that's a massive frag in efforts for Renegades now taking that weapon out of the CT hands.
Yeah, Jacob benefited from the bomb detonation there. It unsettled that aim, made it a little confusing as he ducked in underneath that crosshair. So Renegades remove 4 of the rifles, and now they should have an even easier time. They could afford to lose those bodies in the hunt, even though it cost them 3 extras.
That was a great first pick from Jacob, or sorry, yeah, I do believe it was Jacob towards the long to get that first kill onto Showtime, and that really opened up the round, allowed the Renegade side to progress through the round, up the Catwalk for an easy round. Smooya now up for the fast cat. He's going to take down Cello, but quickly traded out.
All right, so something that INTZ are going to look to do is see if they can recover that rifle at Catwalk, one way or the other. If Renegades manage to get into a site and they commit a lot of bodies into A or B, they might just take that time to go silently around and collect that gun and use it into the following round. A retake's not really in the cards right now. They've got 4 bodies, 3 of them are armored, but it's not an honest look at any kind of retake. They probably would have some pistols to expend on exit frags, but now things are shaping up a little bit better. Like I was talking about, they were going to recover that rifle anyway, but now they got a bonus rifle.
Yes. It's looking like a retake's possible here. We're going to see INTZ move towards the long A side. They have a flash for it as well here. So Jacob, he's going to catch one blind with the repeak onto Horvey as well. Beautiful out of Jacob.
Suddenly things are deflating for INTZ. Even though they had a man advantage, it now belongs to the Renegades. Both of those remaining players not going to look at the retake. Bomb's beginning to tick. Zand might just go back and get those guns out long, and that'll help them in the next round. Because look at the utility they've picked up out of this, too, off of just the bodies. They got flashes, smoking another flash as well. There might be another piece of utility here that they can use to try and exploit into their next rifle round.
All right, able to recover that AK now. Renegades onto their 5th round here. Great start to their T side for them. We got to see the CTs put a stop to this right away. Renegades is doing a good job of getting those opening picks, throwing a wrench into whatever INTZ's setup is, and really for INTZ, they got to start the round off with a nice pick in their favor and get out before the trade happens.
So there it is. If you need picks, you go for a double op. Horvey and Yell are currently wielding those. Let's see if they split those.
Here's that replay with Jacob getting the double kill. First one was blind. Beautiful little display of Counter-Strike from him.
Yeah, that completely just removed all the air from the tires from INTZ. They couldn't continue to move on after that point. But 2 of those weapons are saved, and those are both AKs. That's Cello and Xand. Cello's over at long A, Xand's at the B site. Those ops are split. One of them's on Catwalk, the other one is supporting long A, and that's exactly where the Renegades are starting to round this corner. They put Jacob up on top of the boxes in the long doors to try and peer over top of the smoke, get a top-down view. Showtime's just meters away, but he's not going to encroach on that center line right through the doors.
Nice flash out the door. Showtime actually gets caught by it here. He's solo. He's got to defend it. Gets caught throwing a nade. And Liaz to pick up the first frag of the round. Another opening frag going the way of Renegades.
Yell just apparently couldn't get in position. That smoke that came out to the corner, I felt like it came out late. Maybe Yell just couldn't get there in time to put the lead down range. But Renegades have stalled a bit. They've stopped here at long, with still a minute on the clock, just shy of that.
They've been doing this every single time they get the opening pick. Get the opening pick, go into a passive setup, see if the CTs want to try and even it up on you. This is great decision-making from Renegades.
I mean, INTZ, they've gambled, and it's all quiet on the Western Front right now. Now they're soon going to feel like, okay, maybe they've rotated back to the B site. Now these grenades coming in, and INTZ are in a great position to thwart this attack from the Renegades. Molly's coming up and over the top. Xand from behind gets 2. That should be more than enough. But Renegades still flirting with the site with 20 seconds left. The bomb's going to start to get planted. Yell not brave enough to go for the jump peek, but behind the car lies Smuya. Horvey's last man standing down below on the uphill battle, and he's got a flank to his backside. Renegades on the 6-1.
Renegades had that round locked down for the most part. As soon as they got into the A site, yeah, we saw a little display of like INTZ making their comeback into it, but really JKS, who was lurking towards middle the entire time, well, he had that round wrapped up, especially due to the fact that none of the INTZ players cleared out middle. JKS was able to just walk his way down, pick up that frag with ease.
You had Xand that came in through the smoke, up the ramp, thought it was going to be the saving grace of INTZ on that round, but apparently they just couldn't win the upfront frags, and Renegades just had all the baller momentum right into the site. Bomb gets planted with 20-some seconds left. That leaves you enough time. The Renegades, not a team that seems to be executing with like at 20 seconds, all right, let's hit this site, because that leaves you one opportunity to plant the bomb.
Yep.
In that case, if Zand did come in and Renegades were 10 seconds after that point, then INTZ probably
starts
wins
getting
that.
a little bit scary.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I like when teams execute with a little buffer.
All right, looking at this round now, we are going to see Renegades moving very quickly towards B. Smuya with that AWP looking to make something happen. Nothing really going his way. No CTs deciding to peek on that, but it does look like Renegades are opting to do something. Oh! Smuya just misses the shot.
That one was a couple pixels off. It may have just been the crosswind. That was just a breadth of hair away.
Oh,
are they going for
the
stack?
triple boost? Yeah.
Triple boost over the smoke. He's able to turn it, and he spotted him. Did Xand see him in return though?
No,
he
I don't think he did.
He got really skittish after he was a little bit wide on that angle. They might just try and flush him out with a molly right now and force him out of position. Let's Smuya finish the job.
Boom. Exactly like you called it, Dallas. A nice little Molotov onto his position. Horvey actually trading it up onto Jacob to make this a 4v4. Renegades still not pressuring that B bomb site here. Taking it slow, taking it methodical. But you know what? They've moved all of their troops over to this B site.
INTZ, they got a reinforcement here too. We've seen this 2-2 stack with the lack in mid and connector, but right now INTZ are in a great spot to keep them right at this choke point. They go for another boost. Cello with a little bit of an extended mag due to the patch goes down, but he did a ton of damage. One, and then Aza staying alive by a millisecond. That shot again just off the mark. One-man advantage for the Renegades, and this is an easier site to hold, especially with the lack of utility INTZ has.
I imagine they're not even going to go for this here. Maybe if Showtime picks up a kill with this nade, but they are really hard-pressed to make anything happen right now.
Holy nade. Oh, that could have been something. If he just looked up a bit, sent it to the back of the platform, Asa would not be in this round anymore. And that's exactly right. You made the right call. It seems like INTZ got wind of that. Saving the op is huge.
All right, and looking at this right now, Showtime as well as Yell are both going to be saving towards that long area. Not really much going on for them in this round. Renegades opting not to hunt any kills here. They're going to fall back as well towards T-spawn.
I'm actually surprised they're not hunting on that one. You've got 14 grand on Smooya. 14 grand. Just now buys back down to 11K. They had tons of cash to go look for that.
Right now, anything Renegades is doing here, Dallas, is working for them. Any side of the map that they're going to go and hit very early on, whether it be cat, whether it be long, whether it even be B like we just saw, it's working out for them. Renegades, full form right now. It's great to see Jacob sliding right back in. 14-2, hops right into it like he never left.
Smooya's getting a couple whiffs of Horvey that was jumping around in mid. Renegades are bought up pretty well for what's up against them, INTZ. There's armor in there. There's still an op in play. You have to be worrisome about that. That was a weapon that was saved from the previous round that could put a big dent and blemish on Renegade's scoreline. Yell holding that one, seeing if he could spot the shoelaces of Smooya. I don't know who, if anybody spotted who, but Yell has fallen back into a little bit more defensive position. Smoke shows, and he senses he's got an angle.
Smooya still holding for any aggression on the other side of this smoke. The majority of Renegades, once again, moving out together as a squad, as you're seeing 3 people out towards these mid-double doors here, 2 people on the side of INTZ to defend.
Molly's coming in. They're burning alive.
My
There's nowhere
goodness.
left to run. Yell, the spots were taken in the hidey holes back there at CT. Nowhere remains, and a nice 1 dig, but that's merely a parting gift. Cello is last up, and yeah, he sees the op to be recovered in front of him.
He can't do it without making noise right now, though. That is the issue. But I'd like to point out Renegades sneaking out middle. Some great Molotovs in towards that CT spawn, essentially getting 2 kills there as one burns Yell all the way down, and the second actually forces the second player out of the smoke, or out of the molly through the smoke and into the waiting arms of 3 AKs. So 8th round on the board for INTZ, and that's exactly, or sorry, 8th round on the board for Renegades, and that's exactly what you want to see.
It's interesting that Molly came in and actually burned. I thought those CTs were covered in the smoke, but that smoke just couldn't quite get it there, and they instead incinerate.
Yep.
An 8-1 start, and INTZ go for the double op now. So they started off feeling it out a bit with a single op, then they touched the double op. It did not work. They were trying to stretch the dollar bill a little bit and save those ops in previous rounds, but now they're again going for the expensive round and sacrificing a lot of the utility just to make sure that they can have that one shot. So the Renegades now set for what could be a overwhelming first half. INTZ are going to need to start putting things together. They need to set a change in their default, a change in their culture, or how they're approaching a lot of these rounds.
Ooh.
I mean, they're winning everywhere. That's not a fight either that you should win easily.
Well, JKS just took a fight against an AWP towards B Plat and ends up winning that.
That's what I mean. He's not supposed to win that.
Exactly, exactly. Everything going the way of Renegades right now. They yet again open up the round in their favor. They're going to move towards Catwalk right now. We see the 2 rotating players from INTZ moving towards top A, but I think they're actually going to get caught in no man's land here as Renegades is about to execute.
Oh, yeah. Showtime's going to get the memo. Starts the fallback. Excellent smoke that lands there. It's going to allow them to jump into CT if they so choose. But they're stacked up. It is a firing line. They're blind too. Cello with 2. Showtime with the other. They mesh up really well. It's just perfect. Like as soon as that smoke popped right on the ledge, the CTs also had a smoke that popped deeper than that, not allowing the Ts to have any clear field of view.
Exactly, and the T's run out. That smoke, like you were just mentioning, on the ledge, blocking them there, and they're going to get some very easy frags towards that A site. And there's the final one from Showtime on that beautiful, beautiful cat hold. Yell looking for that early pick, unable to find anything here. And Renegades right now, well, they're going to move swiftly through lower B on towards middle with Smooya protecting them with that op.
So mid control for Renegades. They had done this before where they went for like a dry peek, just a little bit of a squeak out into mid, pick off a couple people, and then fall back, which works just fine because it creates so much confusion. Players that are on both A and B site would then turn to try and defend across the mid doors, and that weakens everything on the front end anyways. But Renegades right now just resetting. They took a loss on that last round, and so far INTZ have won the first and the absolute last that we've played so far. But 2 rounds, not all that hot. I mean, when you're on your CT side, you want to be able to pick up 6 or so.
This is exactly what you want to see out of Renegades, though. Already on to 8 rounds. If they hit that 11 mark in this half, you got to be happy with that T-side campaign. Right now, as
the defense on this B site, both Horvey and Xand are both looking from the B site towards mid. The doors of B are wide open for business. They spam through the walls, but Jacob already to the platform. There's nobody on the front line of the B site, and Renegades waltz right in. That's a rare opportunity with 5-on-5 to be able to get in through the choke point.
Quite literally waltzing right in. That execute comes behind them. Yeah, they pick up the kill on Azza towards middle, but overall right now, this site has gone the way of Renegades. They have another smoke for double doors as well, which Smooya should be throwing momentarily here. I'm not sure how INTZ is going to get out of this one, and really, they aren't.
Yeah, they're saving. They were taking really chancy pop shots, just spamming through the doors, seeing whatever, if they can get lucky.
That's the thing. That's the thing about B site. Yeah. Is the fact that it's so high risk, high reward. It's such a risk for the T's to actually attempt to go in because of that one chokehold. But once they do get into that site, it's almost impossible for the CTs to have any retake attempt. So Renegades pushing that objective of just getting into B, getting the bomb down, they're going to find success with it.
There's also a tipping point to that as well. If you're on the T side and you're in that B site, there's a big difference between having like 2 guys alive, 3 guys alive, and even more so with 4, because you only have 3 ways to get into that site. When you have extra players that can double up on any one of those choke points, and we're talking narrow choke points, every way into that B site is narrow thin. So when you have just 4 bodies up there, there's almost no looking at it.
All right, and looking at it right now, INTZ, after saving those 4 weapons, will be coming into this round with a 2-1-2 setup, 2 towards long, 1 towards middle, and 2 towards the B site. Renegades, on the other hand, they're going to be opting towards that B area once again, and I do believe they're going to go for the triple boost. Good on them.
It didn't get punished last time at all.
I think they're going to catch Zan.
Oh, they may have heard Smooya jumping around. He's able to turn and keep himself there. He's sliding slightly, but nobody's out wide. Xand is just on the other side of the boxes to the right. So Renegades, the last time, the boost didn't directly get a kill last time, but it netted information that resulted in a kill.
Exactly, exactly. That's another re-smoke towards the B tunnels now. All utility at B is pretty much gone here. Corvy with really the only utility left. I mean, we do see 2 flashes left between them, but no smokes, no Molotovs. Renegades, if they do move into B, it's going to be very hard for the CTs to keep them at bay. It's going to be a frag fest.
Hopefully a flash it is. Yell comes off of the angles, able to reset confidently enough. He has spotted Smooya. This is a battle that has been going on, but heavily to the favor of Smooya between these ops. And Yell is forced to fall off the angle with the excess utility that the Renegades have thrown into mid. Yell does make the correct decision, though, now directly supports this A site. Renegades are getting a little shy on time. I commended them before for executing when they had excess time, at least for one opportunity to drop the bomb. Excellent nade. There's 19 seconds on the clock, and they are forced through mid-doors, blindly so. Still, it's going to be a sprint to the B site at this point. Wide open fields of view. You almost have to just cut your losses and save what guns you have if you're the Renegades now.
Yeah, unfortunately for Renegades, there's nothing really going their way. Time on the clock has all but dwindled down. INTZ to get their 3rd round on the board.
Oh, and clocked.
But really, it was that smoke that INTZ threw on Catwalk. That last second smoke, just as Renegades was getting ready to execute, they realized that, well, we don't want a mishap of what we had in the previous round where we just got gunned down going through that smoke. Let's call the audible. Let's try for the mid to B. But in doing so, they forgot the fact that they didn't have a smoke to actually cross towards B, and they're going to get gunned down in the process.
Yeah, indecisiveness is what hurt Renegades there. They dug their own grave at that point, not executing. So now they find themselves, there was plenty of cash. I believe it was it Azza that got clocked at the end of that round?
Yeah.
So he didn't earn any money, but there wasn't much money to be earned anyway from their loss bonus. So whatever. They had enough saved up in their 401ks to be able to safely buy into this in case something went south.
Renegades now moving towards long. They're about to get the pop flash out to start charging through those doors. You actually see Azar setting up for that. And here it comes. The long A hit is underway. Showtime falls into pit yet again here. Nice flashbang from him. Not able to pick up the frag as Jacob takes him down.
Yell's out in front of the car. He's in no man's land. Like, you need to have some form of cover. That's 2 free bodies and Renegades setting up smokes. I almost feel like the Renegades, they're jumping across without the second smoke. Now they're doing this because they felt like they got those 2 kills and they need to execute right now. But because they're doing that, they're not crossing their T's and dotting their I's, they've made some grave mistakes.
But look at this. Once again, JKS in a great lurk position. I'm going to want to see him just wait it out. Don't push through those doors. You can take your time here, and that's exactly what he's doing. He's not looking for the engagement right away. He's going to let the retake develop, and then he's going to strike.
There's the first. Smooya will lop off the head, and then they get caught up on that elevator. And Renegades, they do well to batten down the hatches on that ship because it looked like it was springing leaks when they decided to execute right now before they had really set themselves.
Yeah, just rushing the execute a little bit, gets them caught out, loses 2 members. But you know what? As soon as they get top A, it's pretty much over. JKS has full mid control at that point. He can let his teammates know, hey, look, nobody's pushed up middle, nobody's on your catwalk, nobody's flanking your long. Let's concentrate on other parts of the map as Smooya picks Cello to start this round off.
Again, super fast play out long A. Yell's actually through the double doors in mid. He'll get Jacob. That's at least something to draw it even across the line. 4-on-4 right now, but the double op still in play for INTZ. They're able to dip their toes repeatedly into that kind of money. Oh man, that's a couple times we've seen that, where someone beats Smooya to the draw, but they don't have the accuracy.
Yeah, just missing that shot there. It would have actually been a great shot there. Showtime now getting pop flash. JKS with a phenomenal shot onto him. Now an A has been opened up. Yell is playing in this elbow area. Let's see what he can do.
I think he's behind Ninja right now. He's going to wait for the bomb to be planted or not.
Good
now
Molotov.
He's getting mollied out. Yeah, he's forced to duck out of that position, working with whatever angle he has. Xand is so far away, just now coming out of T-spawn. It's just asking too much for Yell. And yeah, you're not going to win this 1v4. Haven't done any damage to the remaining 4 players, the Renegades, and this is a 3-11, and likely going to be a 3-12 half because the money for INTZ is not pretty.
Looking at it right now, INTZ going into this final round, we'll probably see some MP9s on the field, maybe a couple of FAMASes. This will be Renegades round now as they move on to their 11th here. INTZ really just struggling on their CT side to begin this half.
And really, there have been a couple mistakes from the Renegades, but they haven't been grave mistakes. They've been able to correct themselves. There's a couple rounds that I think that the scoreline could have been worse for INTZ. It could have easily been 2-12 right now, but still, I don't think that is going to change at the end of the day. This is such an overwhelming first half. It's applying too much pressure to INTZ's second half pistol round. It's almost requiring that they win that at that point.
I'd like to commend Renegades on this first half, though. Honestly there, Dallas, when you're looking at it, every single opening duel they're winning for the most part. Only a couple times throughout this half did they lose the opening duel. There you go, some damage being done as well onto Yell. Jacob hears all of this as well, so he's going to be able to call this out to his teammates. Smooya actually picks up one. Jacob coming in through lower, he's going to pick up another, and we're into a 3-on-3, but Renegades has full information on what is happening now. They know 2 people aggressed through B tunnels, and they're actually going to send the bomb up Cat in response.
Cello is the only person that can stop this. He's on the CT side of the double doors, and he is not brave enough to push through this right now.
Look at this T-spawn flank. As Liaz takes down Horvey, we're going to see the T-spawn flank coming around right now. He's not really going to get there in time as the bomb has already made his way up Cat, but he is going to head towards long here and try and make this retake happen as the round develops.
It's an MP9 though. I mean, Azza will be able to lay him low at range, but pushing up closer is going to be Liaz. Oh, is he going to overstep his bounds? He does. 2v2 right now. There's an AK to be recovered as well, but eyes are going to be watching that rifle.
Good
and
Molotov.
in fact, too hot to touch right now.
And they still have a smoke, and they still have another Molotov as well, Dallas. So the smoke should be coming out. They actually choose to molly it instead.
No kits.
But Azza, yeah, Azza should be throwing the smoke now any second.
Oh, that's so frustrating.
And there you go.
You're getting everything thrown at you. The kitchen sinks out, and now finally the lead comes downrange. A 12-3 thrashing in the first half.
That's exactly what you want if you're Renegades, coming out confident, a completely different team that we've seen from yesterday right now with the addition of Jacob back into the lineup.
Yeah, I mean, look at him flexing that right now. So this is a tough spot for INTZ, but we're going to cut to a quick break for halftime, and when we come back, we're going to wrap up map 1 between INTZ and the Renegades. Watching the ESL Pro League Season 9. Hey, welcome back to the Pro League. I'm Topical, joined with me is Evan, and we've got ourselves the second half of map 1 coming up. Between Renegades and INTZ, both of these teams came off of losses yesterday against NRG and E United, so it's a tough spot for them. This is virtually a must-win situation in this best of 3.
Yeah, definitely, and Renegades coming out and, like Jason said, powdered bottoms. Well, they're going ahead and powdering some INTZ bottoms right now, and it's looking really good for Renegades starting off into the second half. You're going to want to see them take this pistol round, start it off on a good foot here. INTZ, if they do win this pistol round, they've got their work cut out for them. It's not going to be an easy road. T-side, 3 rounds. I mean, it is Dust2, so it is possible, but with this scoreline and the way that Renegades has been playing, they're going to be hard-pressed to do so. Jacob, as well, 19-7 to finish up that first half.
I mean, if this was yesterday's Renegades, maybe. maybe INTZ could do it right now, but with Jacob coming in and dropping a bomb, 19-7, that's
tremendous
a
effort.
line. That is a tremendous effort, and he's making it look easy. There's a lot of teamwork. What's interesting to me actually is JKS, who was top fragging yesterday, like from a distance, he was dominating, is actually at 6 and 8 right now. So I like that the Renegades somebody can pick up the slack.
Well, that's exactly it, right? When you have a team like Renegades where all 5 members, well, of course, they're missing one right now as Smooya is a fill-in, but even with Smooya, all 5 members are strong in their own rights, and they just need to be given the opportunities to capitalize on it. Right now it's Jacob, but maybe this half we're going to see Smooya go big.
Yeah, could be.
Anything is possible.
Anything's possible, and right now INTZ are looking at possibility shrinking in front of them. It could have been that we did have a 7-1 scoreline. Could be it for the Brazilians. Right now, faster play. Oh, JKS has the first. Can he control for the second? Oh, beautiful flashbang allows a fresh magazine, and he stays alive at a distance. Jacob commits his life for the greater good. JKS goes down out there as well.
Oh.
It's a 2v2. There is a flank in Smooya here, and the bomb's down in the site. So Smooya pushing ahead through the tunnels is going to start to pressure them, and both are staring down range. Smooya should have an easy one, and I say should. Takes his time on the first. Turns, and Horvey 180s him. Looking for the next. Horvey, 180 degrees, defends himself from 2 aggressors. INTZ pick up a massive pistol round.
That was wild. INTZ, I was not expecting them to win that round. Horvey, that was a great little 180 onto Smooya on the flank there, turning back and getting the final kill there. Renegades, though, a great initial defense on that B bomb site. The pop flashes coming in after the initial contact there. Wow, I cannot believe INTZ pulled that one off.
We were talking about individual efforts, but we were apparently mistaken. We were talking about individuals on the Renegade side. We need to be talking about the individuals on INTZ's side. Insanity. Now fast play again into the B side. The MAC-10's rattling around, but JKS only needs 1 shot. He's in window right now, and this force buy from the Renegades is starting to slow things down on the INTZ's front. There's a long lurk coming through the double doors right now. Xand is going to be turned around. Oh, JKS
is going
I heard the
off
players
right
go,
now.
ooh, I could hear them across the wall. Filthy shot, 2v3 now. INTZ have run out of gas. The bomb's just now getting into the site, and that might be the cue for JKS to jump the rope.
I love this right now. They're going to take the time right here, especially because there's a fake. They're double flanking through the tunnels. JKS creating a bit of a distraction as well. He knows both players are in sight, so he's going to communicate that.
Oh my
and Liaz getting the first deagle here, and this should be an eco round.
Do it again.
Horvey can do it
again,
twice.
Horvey. He's wounded Liaz. It's a 1v1 again. Smooya with the scout. He fires. He misses.
My.
Horvey, clutch master. 2 in a row. Give it to him. This time a 1v3. Picks up 3 kills on the round. INTZ are avoiding disaster.
I loved everything Renegades did in that round there, but I loved what Horvey did even more. A 1v3 clutch for him to pull that one out, even though Renegades pretty much got all the information they needed. They knew that the second person not planting was also in the site. That got communicated. That allowed Liaz to just rush right in, didn't have to worry about clearing platform. But Horvey in the back of sight, what a tremendous effort from him to put INTZ at 5.
Yeah, this is big. Renegades stacking up long A. Getting mowed down. Chewed up. Horvey dies. I mean, must be balance in the world, right?
Yeah. 12-6 is our scoreline right now. Dallas is Renegades are going to be buying up into this round here. INTZ plenty of money on the Brazilian side as well. Let's see what Renegades are going to do with this double op setup that they're bringing to the table.
Already, like straight to the point are the Renegades. I mean, this is what they virtually did in the first half. INTZ put up some resistance up front. Renegades were like, nope, we know as soon as we get rifles, we will dominate you. JKS holding his off in mid. Xand just shows his backside there, and that is more than enough for JKS to predict where that body is moving. Strikes true.
Very slow round out of the INTZ side after finally losing a member to begin this round. They're just not going to push the subject here. They're going to take it slow. They're going to look for any overextending CTs to even this one back up. Renegades, on the other hand here, Dallas have taken long control. We're going to see Liaz playing just outside of the graveyard on that left side here. 2 more members falling back towards car as well as A bomb site. We're going to see them double up in towards B as well here. So it's on INTZ now to start looking for picks. Renegades has gone into a passive play.
Horvey did get dinged up by that grenade that was hucked in there. He's going to throw the smoke to allow his company to move ahead. Actually, not move ahead. Instead, go over the top of this smoke for the peak. Oh, man, just a sliver of that dome is spotted, and he never saw that one coming.
Keep going here. Nice little flash for him as well, and what a shot from Yell onto Smuya. A site has been opened, but the bomb has been dropped towards long.
Cello, though, was able to recover that one. But what about that dynamic duo between Horvey and Yell on Catwalk? Just one at a time, one angle at a time they deal with using a smoke and then a flash for the second. It's up to JKS and Jacob. The smoke comes for the cross, and they will throw the bomb across. Oh, Jacob gets the kill. It's going to even things out. 12 seconds for the bomb plant. It will get stuck down, safely so, but it's a difficult position, especially for Cello at long, to defend that bomb. The jump shot from JKS, does he try again? Molotov comes in, is actually extinguished, hissed out by the smoke that remained. And Cello
nice
stops
shot.
the top end of this one. Jacob takes this down to a 1v1 though. It's going to be a fast play for him.
Oh, and Yell gets him blind.
Oh, was he completely blind?
He got him blind there as well, yep. Nice round out of Yell there to make that happen for INTZ, and the comeback is happening here, Dallas. The comeback is happening. Renegades now find themselves a little bit of a force buy here, just trying to get some guns in their pockets to make something happen for them, but this should be another INTZ round, putting them on 8.
So INTZ is still, I mean, they've put 4 rounds in a row on this half, showing that their T side is far more capable than their CT side. Holy cow, was that fast. I just heard that one. His bell got rung.
So fast?
Yeah, this is a force buy from Renegades, and they've already started off on a great advantage. Az was looking for the second one as well. It actually hits Showtime, but only hit him for 13 damage.
Yeah, Showtime saying, not me. You're not going to be able to do that to me. He's going to be able to take him down, even it up into a 4-on-4 right now. We are seeing INTZ playing very passively, though, as JKS gets into a little bit of a contact battle towards middle, but he is going to be forced to play passive after being tagged.
Yeah, a little bit of a scuffle. Now we've got Smuya. He's hearing the utility come out into mid. He's just hiding in this cubby. Really a one-and-done position. He would need the grace of the CS gods to hit a second one around the corner. There's the first and the second. Xan for both of those frags took some damage, not nearly enough. The shotgun from Jacob is pursuing, but at the ranges that he would be engaging from, only Xan at that range would be vulnerable. Everybody else would be more than capable of defending just themselves.
Jacob wisely going towards T-spawn, realizing that there could be a gun there for him. But I do believe that Renegades are not going to be able to recover one, as INTZ, realizing that they should drop it off somewhere, have hidden the gun from Jacob. And that makes his trip to T-spawn sort of useless, Dallas.
Well, he's got the Mag 7. This range is hard.
There you go.
He just wounds Horvey. That is 5 rounds in a row. So far, perfection for INTZ in this first half. Renegades have been flatlined. The first half for INTZ was pistol round, and they won 2 rounds after that. None of those chained together. They're virtually at max loss bonus that whole half. And now when they switch over, they've quickly put the Renegades into a max loss bonus themselves. It's a completely turn of pace.
And that's the thing about Dust2, is that the T's mainly control the pace of the game. They can move very quickly either towards long, towards cat, even towards B, as we saw Renegades doing on their T side. But it's going to come down to how you get those picks. And right now, Showtime out towards long. A little bit of contact with Smuya right now, but Smuya actually takes him down through the smoke. And that's going to be Renegades having the man advantage.
It was all a ruse, though. Showtime was just sacrificing himself to keep those ops over towards that A site. They lose Jacob. Now JKS from the top window lines up. I mean, luckily it was only 2. He could have hit a very wide terrorist coming through there. Now it's 3v2 advantage to the Renegades. Liaz is just going to push through this Molotov, shake it off. Thought he spotted someone over by car. Liaz will get the job done. This grenade's going to air out over the top. Do great damage. Yell.
There you go.
Wounded, walking no longer. Renegades do get something done here.
INTZ's hesitation there towards going into the site is what got them into that predicament in the first place. JKS basically just peeked, shot off one shot, and there were 4 terrorists that could have hit. And like you were saying, it could have been much worse. We might have even seen a triple kill there. But they end up with a double. The rotations come in as well. Here's where they force the Molotov. They realize one was in closet, and then they easily finish up Yell in the tunnel.
So INTZ have saved up enough cash to be able to buy into this round fully, op included. AKs are on the front lines. They've secured tunnels. The Renegades aren't going to try anything cheeky. It's very straightforward. Smooya is on catwalk looking in towards the lower tunnels. He actually doesn't have anybody in mid even watching his catwalk approach. I'm surprised he's out there. He is the lowest hanging fruit for INTZ to be able to pick off.
It does look like INTZ favoring the long right now. They have a lurk towards lower as well as middle. And it's going to be Renegades playing a fairly passive setup here towards the A site. They have a player top A. They have a player by this elbow area on top of the box who's Smooya. But overall, Renegades not really taking control of any part of A. Does look like now they are going to favor towards the catwalk.
Yeah, Renegades bouncing around. They're shifting themselves a little too much on this A site for me to feel comfortable with. Now Azza is coming down catwalk.
I'm comfortable with this right now. They have a double-up cat setup. This is great. They have one player in Liaz spotting towards long as well here. They got the two players inside B, one of them spotting and Jacob towards middle. This is a fine and dandy setup that the Renegades are running.
Yeah, they finally set themselves in this position. And for a while there, they were shifting. And during that shift, there's a bigger opportunity for the B side to be able to exploit that shift. They're going to catch you in movement. And they settle down and they'll start to pour some concrete, lock up this A site. Jacob supporting mid doors right now. He was playing to the B side early, so virtually you've got 4 players on this A site. The bomb's crossing at now with Liaz holding the ninja position. That bomb will not make it to
9 seconds.
Site. Yeah, time is up as far as Horby is concerned. No chance. Yell will hold on to the offense to the next round, and I mentioned at the beginning of that round, INTZ bought everything.
Yep. That was a great little hole from Renegades there. First towards the catwalk, as well as towards the middle there. You see them pretty much force on it with Jacob, as well as Azza on Cat. At that point, the 3 remaining members of INTZ forcing up long, but it's too little too late. Renegades are anticipating it. They've already got a player hiding towards the elbow. They have the double-up bait set up on catwalk. They pick up some very easy kills.
Okay. In the first half, we saw this a bit. INTZ was able to save an op. They weren't ever able to get anything done with just one op, and then really short-statured pistols behind that. So it's asking a lot for Yell. He needs to be able to pick off players that are exposed enough that the rifles would be able to be recovered at that point, because the op alone is not going to be able to get one of these sites open. He needs somebody with a stolen AUG, I think, in this case. And look how far away these weapons are.
All right, just looking at INTZ right now. Looks like they're going to be looking towards a cat split, maybe leaving the lurk and Zand out towards that long doors here. But as 3 members group up, as well as the bomb towards cat, well, they're going to be running into Smooya, who's got his AWP trained right on that peak.
Staring it down. He is not really standing in position to fire and fall. There's the cross, and he misses his shot. He will fall back, but he's actually exposed a bit. Blocks are just pestering him as he resettles his position and looks up. That one through the edge of the box. Smooya's down. Big piece of firepower out of position for the Renegades. Liaz is holding an AUG in the car position, usually where an off is, and he defends himself front and rear. So now you've got a 4v2 and flanks on flanks on flanks. Bomb is making its way to the site now, but Yell's not going to be able to. No way.
I love the awareness from Liaz, initially picking up those kills on players running up that short, and then realizing that, hey, you know what, they probably set up a flank towards long, let me just turn back towards that. He's going to do it, pick up the long lurk, and that pretty much cements Renegade's long control for the round, allows the rotators to come in as well, confidently just peeking that catwalk, and that's going to be Renegade's 15th on the board.
Yeah, they've secured the OT. INTZ did get a hell of a stretch. They got 5 rounds in a row to start off this half, but they need to eclipse that. They need 7 in a row.
They've really just come up short in these past few rounds. I feel like Renegades have come alive. I feel like Renegades were in a little bit of economic trouble just to start that game, with a couple of their buys not going their way, a couple of their forces as well. And that's what allowed INTZ to really get rolling, get that momentum in their favor, pick up those 5 rounds in a row that you mentioned. But now that Renegades is kind of evened out on that economy, they're getting their buys together. They're starting to pull away. They're starting to pull towards that win.
There's a difference in winning 5 rounds in a row that includes the pistol round. Like the first 5 is a lot different than a 5 that's settled in somewhere else with all rifles.
Yeah, exactly.
Just because it's easy to lose the first rifle, and just that strings together 4. That might be the 5th round out there as well. The 2nd rifle would be included in that. So
agreed.
This is going to be a much more difficult option for the INTZ crew to be able to recover out of. They've sent 3. And actually a 4th that's going to join them in front of Smooya. He misses his shot. He's now sprinting around the corner. Will fall back to this one. Misses again, but the grenade damage is way too good. The AoE popping off.
Oh, that's a
Fan
big
does get the
kill,
kill against
actually.
AZR. That's at the A site, though. I don't know if it's that huge. You've got support coming around. Renegades are putting all their pawns in the right positions.
Let's see what Smoothie is able to do there. Solo player in the site. He's actually not watching the edge of the smoke, and that's going to get him caught as Horvey opening up that A bomb site for INTZ. Now the Brazilian lineup looking to get that bomb down.
He got conditioned. So they had lost a player to that boost before, and so he was staring at it, expecting it again. Jacob gets a kill, and almost the next one. Cello survives. JKS is last man standing. This would be a wise save.
Yep.
There's no sense in trying to haste and make waste at this point, because you're gonna end up spinning your wheels. You hand over an op for INTZ. There's probably one on the field somewhere for you recovering anyway.
Exactly. They've got plenty of money in their pockets, Dallas, so they might as well just save what they have right now. They can buy up into next round. They can attempt the win at another point. INTZ, though, they're going to make their way onto 9. Great showing from them, really crawling back into this game, but they've still got a long way to go. After this, they're still going to need 6 rounds in a row just to take this to OT.
Oh, he'll make him bleed a little bit more. So that hurts INTZ a bit in the sense that they needed to win, well, now 6 in a row, but they need to win these really healthy because they want to stay ahead of the curve. You have to stay ahead of that one, because if you're having 3, 4 people have to rebuy every round, at that point, you're still not going to end up with some full buys. Renegades would be able to overcome that because they'll be at max loss bonus before INTZ are even close enough to tie this game.
Exactly. No op on the field for the terrorist side either here, and we have a double op setup coming out for the CT, so the AKs now, they're going to have to hit some nice shots or go down early here.
Xbox smoke is there. JKS starts to fall back, fills the scope, pulls the trigger, looking for the next one. It's Shelly, catches one in the face. On the other side of the world, I think it was a B rush, and it has just been laid low by Jacob. He switches his weapon.
Goodness.
He goes from the AUG to the AK and says, I can fight from both sides. And that is the end of that one. As quickly as that was, we were talking about all these strategies that INTZ could use.